pulsating pestilence, disease, decay, vermin, and squalor. The Lady of Decay, the Prince of Hunger, the Daedric deity of the dark. Namira is the goddess of the discarded and the vile. Her shrine's home to beggars, though foreign to the shores of Morrowind. But tales tell of pilgrims disappearing out near the holy paths of Malag Mar, an abandoned egg mine billowing blighted winds, where distant screams can be heard. Perhaps, in the deep darkness below, a shrine to Namira might lurk. And that brings me to today's Mod of the Day. For today, we're showcasing Skeeved called Namira by Lord Zarkon, a dungeon-delving adventure mod that not only adds a new Daedric shrine for you to uncover, but this also overhauls an existing egg mine, giving you just a far more exciting experience than what was here in the vanilla game. In particular, this overhauls the Massa Shamus egg mine in the Malagama region, a blighted egg mine from the vanilla game that was notable only as a place where you'd get a free Daedric katana. Which honestly probably makes this one of the richest egg mines in terms of loot in the vanilla game. While the original dungeon was just incredibly short and contained really no other loot, aside from a few Kwama eggs, this new overhaul just expands the egg mine quite a bit, taking just full advantage of that glorious egg mine tile set from OData. Now, you'll descend through the dark depths of this abandoned egg mine, exploring the occasional atmospheric sign chamber, before you come across a tunnel leading into the Queen's Lair. Like in the vanilla game, this egg mine is blighted, and now the visual evidence of that can be seen everywhere, with heavy red mist just thickening the air, and poisoned, blighted Kwama egg sacs that glow with an unhealthy, almost green-like colour. There is a lovely usage of verticality and open space dungeon design here, with lots of engorged Kwama forges just spewing deadly acid from the ceiling, bubbling green pools of Kwama slime, and just tons and tons of egg sacs just littering the chambers. The atmosphere here is truly just on point. And delving further down, you'll find the apparent cause for this blighted misfortune. For deep inside the Kwama tunnels, it seems they've burrowed into an ancient, secret Daedric shrine. A Daedric shrine dedicated to the Lady of Decay, dedicated to Namira. Through cramped corridors and open large halls, you'll come across the cultists of Namira, beggars and skeevers, mad with violence who will attack you on sight. This is a surprisingly good-sized dungeon delve, with lots of chambers for you to explore and fight through, not to mention treasures to loot. And I have to say, I do just really love this entire concept. The idea of delving through an egg mine and just discovering an ancient Daedric shrine. That is a classic, potentially unexpected adventure that I always love to come across in the vanilla game. Like, some of my favourite dungeons in the vanilla game, it just had that kind of mix of content that you just didn't expect. And like the Muron Grotto, where you could stumble across an ancient, buried, sunken Dwemer ruin. Or that one tomb in the Azura's coast, where you could find the remains of an ancient Nordic longship. Those kind of dungeons just offer you a sense of discovery and adventure that makes them truly special. And I love seeing that approach in dungeon design. And what's more, what makes this just truly unique is that we really just haven't seen a whole lot of representation for the Lady of Decay before. At least not in Morrowind. To my knowledge, I know of only two other mods that deal with Namira. The Forgotten by Enclave Killer and Carice, which adds a new shrine to Namira in the Vivec Underworks, and a Daedric Shrine Overhaul Malakath by Glittergear, which also adds a new shrine to Namira in the Vivec Underworks. So, you know, it's nice to see just a bit more content for this particular Daedric Prince, and especially some new content that isn't centered in the Vivec Underworks. Honestly, there is quite a bit here, a lot more than I was expecting going in. And not only has the original, dull, cramped, single-cell cookie-cutter egg mine from the vanilla game just been completely replaced with a much more expansive egg mine with 2-tier cells, but the Daedric Shrine has another 2-tier cells on top of that. And in addition, this mod also overhauls the landscape around the exterior of the egg mine. Just adding in new cliffs and rocks to, add that element of grand exterior verticality to make the whole dungeon just stand out that much more. Really, I think this might be one of the most underrated dungeon mods from the 2023 Modathon. I mean, at last report, it only had 11 endorsements, and that is a shame for such an impressively content-rich overhaul. I mean, maybe it's the name, skeeved in Cult of Namira probably doesn't, bring in the masses, but to say the least, I do just strongly recommend giving it a try. But that's pretty much all there is to see here, so that's just our mod of the day. As always, I've been your host, our Golf Guy. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, happy modding, and I'll see you all next time.